Welcome back, hunters. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to our Build-A-Bowgun series, episode 3, on Najarala. Now, Najarala is a bit of a step away from World. If you've played any Monster Hunter games from, I'd probably say 4 Ultimate onwards. Yeah, I believe he was also in Generations, but Najarala is the only large snake wyvern class monster, and as you can see, he's got a very, very interesting body shape. It's a legged snake that is just a really interesting fight. And for his interesting looks and fight and shape, he has a lot of unique kind of choices for his weapons and armor. But sadly, all of his only ranged option for weapon choice in Monster Hunter, which is kind of a shame, is not really living up to what you see for how unique he is. Like in his concept art here and here, you can see that his design is really, I think, based around the idea of the Mesoamerican feathered-serpent. Like that sort of artistic styling on that feature. You can see that this honestly looks almost like a Mesoamerican styled head of sorts with the feathers going off, the square kind of tips to them. Anyway, let me show you the armor, just kind of give you more of a feel of that. As you can see, Feathered Serpent really just rings true for all the armor and maybe not the weapons so much, but you can definitely see the styling in the armor. So this is the Blade Master. I think this is just the lower rank. Yeah, this is lower rank stuff. Or low and high rank. There is a G rank version, but I just have the kind of base models, or the base rank armors for you to see. So this is the Blade Master, and the Gunner. And you can really like the Gunner with all the little snake heads and that, and just the serpent style helmet. Anyway, I'll just show you guys the weapons, and then I'll kind of get you in and show you what we're going to try making for a light bowgun for Naja. So this is his only ranged option, which is a heavy bowgun, and it's kind of a weird one. Like, it's interesting that it's double barrel like that, but nothing really screams Najarala aside from some possible coloring to it. So we won't be doing the heavy bowgun, although if you guys do want to see a little thing like that, maybe I'll do an episode that's kind of like going back to what you guys leave in feedback and comments about what you think. As I know, the Nargacuga episode, I'm not particularly happy with how it ended up around. There are some minor tweaks I think I want to try on it, but I'll see what your feedback is, and then maybe I'll do another episode just kind of tweaking it like I did the end of the Tigrex one. But we'll just go through the rest of the weapons here before I get too off topic. The Insect Glaive, unfortunately I can get an image of it reversed so you can see the shield cover for the handle on the glaive, but that's a very cool looking design like that, isn't it? Something like that. The Sword and Shield also features a very nice little take on the Feathered Serpent. The twin serpents coiling around the middle jewel there. Just the coils and that. And then even the lance is a pretty unique looking one. It really looks a lot pretty similar to the Insect Glaive, but it has that kind of featuring to it. And lastly, to show off before we get into making our own, is the Hunting Horn. So you can see all the Narg weapons kind of have that squarish edged or tips to them. So we'll definitely incorporate that. And the template we're going to start with is going to be our musket type just from last episode. But we're going to make a new layer right away. I guess we'll just call that 1, because we're building entirely on top of this one. So let me just grab ourselves our tool, and let's zoom right in, because we're going to start again from the barrel up front here towards stock, because I think that might be easiest going with Naja. And I think the first thing I want to do is follow along with kind of that styling for... Ooh. How did I get to that? I don't want the star, we just want the simple one like that. Gotta shrink that all the way back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so my thinking was basically something like a square... I say square, and then I immediately screw that up. There we go. More of a squarish head, kind of like the feathered serpent looks that you might see in some Southern American style cult... God, can't think of what the best words for it. Artwork and, like, Aztec Incan styling. Something just a little simple, kind of like this. Just kind of has that basic sort of squared head there. just to give it a little eye. That will probably be one of those nice bright blue gems. Okay, so that's a little bit of a start. So, the blue gem were a very nice vibrant blue, as you can see from our sword and shield here, with that nice striking middle part. And even the armor. Maybe the armor doesn't show it as much. The shield might, but it's mostly going to be those blue little gemstones that we see on the sword and shield will kind of carry over. So, we'll do that there. Now we want a nice green. Kind of like a greenish yellow, I'd say. How does that look in comparison? Actually, I think that's a pretty good base right there to start with. Okay, so there's that. We will incorporate the barrel going a little further, though. So maybe we'll do a little something like this. And maybe what we'll do for the barrel is we have a lot of this bright orange coloring, so we'll probably do a nice bright orange for the barrel color. There we go. And now, I think that takes care of most of that already. The only thing I want to do is, as you can see, Najarala, let's find a better one, kind of has this little fan of sorts that goes up to all of its scales. Like, here's a really good example of how they stick up like that. So I want to incorporate some of those on the light bowgun too. So go a little bit away back like that. And carry that down. And this is going to be a bit of a different bowgun than we kind of have done in the past, because even the Najarala bowgun, what we did with that one is we made that a true bowgun where you could see the limb. This is probably going to be our first more gun-styled light bowgun. So we're not going to have the bow limbs that we did on the other one. Just want to see, actually, how do they go up? They kind of change more to a yellowy, so what we might do is the tips are that nice bright orange, but maybe we'll even change something like, no, that's not a bright enough yellow, is that? Something a little more like that. That'll be good for there. We'll do another layer, and we'll start working from there on. So as you can see, with how long and slender Najarala is, we'll keep that going along. Basically go cover right all the way back to, let's say, out here. Something like that, and then up there like this. Okay, so now we're going to have the rest of the snake look there. But what I want to actually try doing, and it's going to be probably a little hard for me to pull off, but we're almost going to look like it's a snake coiling around the barrel. So we'll leave some gaps right here. And do almost a few of these. Just try to get the distancing right. And maybe we'll try for one more. So let's see, that's about around there. One more little dot right there. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll fill that in. I actually may have to do a little something here. So if I want to make it look like it's almost wrapping around, I'm trying to think of how that would kind of look. So, say it starts back here, goes up, and then it will loop under. I may actually want to extend this down. Let me see what happens if I extend this down, what the kind of look is from that. Actually, hang on, I might actually have it. If we alternate it, what look will that give? Actually, I will need to just keep a little bit of green here. Well, let me see what this kind of gives us for looks. So I think if I can pull it off properly, I think you guys will immediately know what I was aiming for. Let me try and see. Oh, Lord. Did not want to do that. Okay. Let's do 0 degrees. There we go. Gotta be careful with those shortcuts, because I still don't know exactly what I'm doing at times. So carry that along like that. And that to there. There we go. Kind of, but not really. I'm trying to think of how I can best show that off. Let's get back here. So I want to do it that it looks like it's winding up towards the barrel here. Which it might even be better if I just do close this off proper. Nope. I say close that off proper, didn't even close that up. Forgot about that little bit there. Okay, let's properly do that now. There we go. I'm trying to think of how I could kind of give that wind feature. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, though. Sort of just like how you have the snakes winding around there. I want to give that almost like to what's going on with the barrel here. I don't know the best way to kind of illustrate that. I don't know, maybe I should just do a few things like this wrapping around to kind of break it up. We'll see, maybe the drill look is what it needs in a way. Okay, so we'll do a little something like that. And now we'll keep going with these. A tall one like that. These ones will probably keep a little more uniform in their sizing. And one more should finish that off with this section. See how close I can get these to being the same. Okay, now let's fill this in and see how she's looking. Not too bad, actually. I think, although I do see something I want to try doing, so let me see if I can pull. It might be a little hard to do. Might be easier, actually, if I go off of a guide I had. You might have noticed it as soon as I finished those, but what I want to do is keep it so that way those stick up from inside these little sections. So that one like that. That one in there. Another one here, and we'll actually maybe be able to fit in one more too. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we just go across the tops to finish that off. Okay, now let's properly fill that in and see how it's looking with that taken care of like that. Oh, no, wrong color. That's right, I want a bit like that. There we go, so that's coming along nicely now. So, time for a new layer. And as we're getting to the stalk, we'll have to try to figure out how we want to do that, because what I'm thinking is we almost want it to look like it's a coiled tail at the back here. So I'm thinking maybe a chameleon-like tail would be the best bet. So we'll just carry this along to, say, right here. Actually, before I do, I know immediately I have to close that up, skip that. I am getting better. You can see I'm slowly improving along the lines. Maybe what we'll do, something like that. Maybe almost have it look like this down here, the same color. And then, if that's like that, we could say have it go up, come around, and I do want to keep it kind of more square-ish. Something like that. And then we'll also do something like a square spiral, almost chameleon tail-esque. Let me see how that will look. Okay, well, I am going to have to close this off, but let me see about just doing this part like that. And that's the right color. Let's see, how do I exactly want to say? So I just want down here to be. Maybe I'll try a little something like that, and let me see how this goes. So inside will be like that. Outside, no, I think I actually want the reverse of that. I'd prefer the outside to be. Oh, this is going to be a tricky one. What happens if I actually decide to do something like this? Just go back along, give it a channel of sorts. Say the outside is the green, the inside can be that nice orange. So a little bit more like that. And not bad, but not quite exactly what I'm thinking. Let me try going all the way back and see. How do I want to do this? How? I do want to do this so that way it kind of has the green color there. Maybe I even just want to do a simple, instead of doing that big super square, let me see something a little. Like that, and let's see what it looks like when we fill her in. And we'll just hide the bot back there. Kind of, but still not exactly. I know exactly where I'm screwing up. It's right after this bend here. So, you know, maybe even I just want something. Let's do something a little wider, like the Naja's tail is. Fill that in, and we'll hide that. Better, but you know what? I'm actually going to try something. I can't quite get that right, but I just had a little brainstorm as I was trying to figure that out. Let's try using the Najarala's tail. That's usually a pretty good way to make a stock for a bow gun. It's just to kind of replicate if the monster has a tail. Use that almost as a little bit of a guide. And I want to bring that from there. Yeah, like that. that. And then we'll probably put a trigger down there, but I think that wraps up the bottom half. Now we just carry that along for the top a ways. What we'll do is another one of these standing up here. And let me just hide that layer. And all we gotta do now is basically fill things in. Then how is the tail? Yeah, it basically just has kind of how that goes towards the more reddish orange, so we should probably just be able to do something like that. I mean, actually, it's not too bad looking even just like that, but we still have some detailing I want to do. Like the tail, I want to add a few more, almost looks like layering for it. Oh, we'll just do a little thing like this. Try to get another one on this side, and we'll properly close them up in just a little bit. Just want to give that it does look like it has some more plates to it. There we go, coming along nice and smoothly. Okay, let's zoom in, close up any of these there are. And those, let me take a look at the tail again. Do I want to try making those kind of a yellow? Ooh. Okay, so a little something like that. That's actually not too bad looking. I just want to think now about how do we want to exactly do the more mechanics of it, because I'd like to give it a little trigger. I think if there's anything... Oh, maybe what we'll do is almost make the trigger like a little snake head of sorts. Comes around something like that. And give another couple of... Ooh. You know, that just struck me as something maybe I should try doing. Okay, well, let me just get this all kind of filled in so you can see what my thinking is. I'll use the bright yellow for kind of head there. I do want to use that, but I think I gotta scale this down if I'm honest. So let's shrink that a bit. Ooh, that did not come out very good though. So let me just quickly redo that one. Okay, so how do I want to make this trigger exactly look? I think we're going to use the black again just to start. I almost want to try incorporating something like a little paw of sorts. Try something like that more. That, and then maybe a little thing like that. Well, that's not exactly the prettiest looking. Get that trigger to look quite how I want to. Maybe we'll go for more of a default one. Like I'm trying to remember, one of the more common bowgun triggers I think is just something a little simple. Almost like this along the bottom of it. Which actually worked out really well. And if I do this, can basically make this just like an underside to all the ones we have on the top row there. There we go. And there's one more thing I want to do here. This is going to be a bit of a thicker one. But we're basically going to have this follow a channel of sorts that we can kind of say is the line where the bowgun gets tugged back a way to be used. Because even if it's a gun, you'll still probably see the mechanism to slide present. That. Pull that in like that. Do that along the top there. Now we use our black. And let's take a look at her. It's not too bad, but that tail, or the stalk. I do feel like I want to change that up entirely again. This is just like the Tigrex and the Narga, is I see changes either immediately or a little later, and I want to do some adjustments. Okay, so let's start doing this a little more neater. Slide that down proper. That like that. I almost think I want to keep it like that. What if I do more of a slow taper out to... Should I have that longer? You know what? Let's just see what happens if we carry along this idea of the fins, but they start decreasing in size a bit. Carry that along like that. That might be a little more what I'm thinking. We'll start making these have a little angle on them more towards going down. So let me try filling this in with color and seeing what we get here. Don't forget the little pixel there. Okay, there's that along the top, middle. Now I just gotta do the tops. And you know what? Maybe we'll even do another gem kind of back here. Something a little more like that. And maybe I'll even just add a little extra detail in it. But I think this one is actually one of my more, well, I say first draft, but you saw me adjust it right as I was working. One of our bowguns I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Some minor touch-ups. A little bit of something kind of like that. I wonder if I should just do a little bit of detailing in here of sorts. Just because Najarala does have a bit of a, kind of a beak to it, so almost something just to kind of give it that little feel of more. Like if you look, you can see the beak that really struts forward with the fangs. So let me just do a little bit of tweaking on here and see what this kind of comes out as. Just close that up so that way we know. And what happens if we make that a gold? Oh, forgot to close that up on the bottom. Try that one more time. Okay, still a couple of spots I missed. Let's try once more and see. There we go. And up here, I gotta do a little bit of work. We'll just clean this off in the middle here. Need to come all the way back like that. I gotta remember, just use the command tools. It's there for use, so you might as well use it. Okay. No, that's the one we wanted, sort of. Something like that will. Or does it change the front a bit too much? You know, I think given how Najarala looks for a lot of his artwork in that, I think we want a little change like that. So I think that's actually another bowgun that we can say completed. So the only thing that I'd probably give for spec-wise to the bowgun is that it gets the rapid fire of the Craig 1 or Sticky Shot level 1, just because one of Najarala's things is its sonic little black scales that shoots out. Detonate. So I feel like that's a very good flavor item for Najarala's bowgun. But with that, we'll bring this episode of Build-A-Bowgun to a close. Thank you guys very much for joining me on another episode. If you do have any monsters that you'd like to see get a bowgun, or any bowguns you'd like to see get redesigned, or my take on a few things, be sure to let me know in the comments, or leave a like on the video if you do enjoy this. It's a series that I am experimenting with, trying to do a little more editing with some sound, some incorporation of videos, etc. Slowly learning and branching out of it. But in the meantime, thank you as always for joining me. If you do want to support the channel, maybe think about subscribing. But until I see you again, survivors and hunters alike, please remember to take care and stay alive.